Working out 7 days a week but still not seeing gains? That was me. I went from a video game loving couch potato to a workout fanatic practically overnight. I was obsessed. 2-hour gym sessions, then random push-ups in my bedroom, even doing pull-ups on tree branches or bus stop bars when hanging out with friends. No rest days, no excuses. I thought more is better when it came to building muscle. Spoiler alert, I was dead wrong. From age 17 to 19, I literally lived in the gym. If I wasn't lifting, I was thinking about my next workout. Some people struggle to put on their running shoes. I was sleeping in mine. My idea of a rest day was doing 2 intense workouts instead of 3. I took the saying, no pain, no gain, to an extreme, convinced that every moment not training was a moment wasted. The results? I wasn't growing. In fact, I was sabotaging myself. Sure, at first I saw some beginner gains, but soon my progress flatlined. I felt exhausted all the time, my lifts stagnated, and I started collecting injuries like Pokemon cards. My body was screaming for rest, but I refused to listen. By 19, I had blown out my back with 2 herniated discs, an injury that I'm still dealing with today. I pushed my body beyond its limits, and it pushed back hard. Looking back, it's painfully clear. I was working out constantly to build muscle, yet I was preventing muscle growth by not resting. I learned the hard way that your muscles grow when you rest, not during the workout itself. All those hours of training were breaking my muscle fibers down, but I never gave them the chance to rebuild stronger. I was like a builder demolishing a wall every day and wondering why it never got taller. Here's the science I wish my younger self knew. Exercise is only half the battle. Recovery is the other half. When you lift weights or do intense exercise, you create microscopic tears in your muscle fibers. That's a good thing because it stimulates growth, but only if you allow time to repair. During rest, your body sends in cells like fibroblasts to repair those tiny tears, and the muscle rebuilds a bit bigger and stronger than before. In other words, the gains happen while you're resting. Not only that, rest is when your energy stores get replenished. Your muscles stockpile carbohydrates, glycogen as fuel. Intense exercise drains that fuel tank, and if you don't rest and refuel, you're running on empty next session. I used to wonder why I felt so drained and weak despite my hardcore routine. It was because I never let my body top up its glycogen or recovery. Adequate rest refills your tank and prevents fatigue and burnout, so you can hit your next workout with full force. Crucially, rest isn't lazy, it's part of the program. In fact, experts say a fitness regimen isn't complete without rest days. Skipping rest can actually stall your progress or even reverse it. When I plateaued despite training constantly, it wasn't because I needed an extra workout, I needed an extra rest day. As counterintuitive as it sounds, sometimes doing less will get you more. Overtraining is real and it can wreck both your results and your health. I learned this the hard way. Here are some red flags and risks of never giving your muscles a break, backed by research and my own war stories. When you overwork your body, you're more likely to mess up your form, trip up, or drop a weight due to sheer fatigue. You also put repetitive stress on your joints and tendons without time to heal, leading to overuse injuries. I ended up with chronic tendonitis and those nasty disc herniations from constant strain. I thought I was being hardcore, but all I earned was forced time off. Fun fact, one study of elite athletes found overuse injuries were the most common, causing at least 3 weeks of lost training time. Imagine pushing so hard that you remove yourself from training for a month. Not exactly a winning strategy. Overtraining can actually make you weaker and slower. When you never rest, your performance and endurance tank. You might struggle with weights or distances that used to be easy. I remember feeling weaker even though I was training more. That's a classic sign of overtraining. Your body just can't supercompensate anymore because it's constantly in a broken down state. Exercise is a stress, and too much without recovery sends your body into survival mode instead of growth mode. In my case, every day became a bad day at the gym, and it was 100% self-inflicted. Ever wake up feeling like you got hit by a truck even after a full night's sleep? That was me every morning when I overtrained. My nervous system was shot. Overtraining floods your body with stress hormones, cortisol and adrenaline, that stay elevated when you never take a break. I was restless at night yet drained all day, a miserable combo. In fact, too much training can throw your hormones out of whack and even suppress your immune system. I caught colds more often and felt irritable and depressed for no reason, which research confirms are common overtraining symptoms. Basically, I was overtraining into a breakdown, physically and mentally. Here's the truth. Rest days are part of the gains, not the opposite. Once I started respecting rest, I actually began to see progress again. My mood improved, my lifts went up, and those nagging pains eased off. It felt like magic, but it was really just good science and common sense. Your muscles cannot grow if you don't give them time to repair. Period. When you do give them that time, they come back stronger. It's like charging your phone's battery. You can't expect it to run non-stop at 1% power. You've got to plug it in and recharge it so you can perform at 100% next time. So, how many rest days should you actually take? It depends on your training intensity and level, but more than one for sure. Most people need around 2 to 3 rest days each week for optimal recovery. If you're a casual gym goer or just exercising for health, you might take up to 3 or even 4 rest days weekly, and you'll likely feel better and get fitter faster for it. If you're really advanced and training at a high level, you might get by with 1 big rest day a week. But even serious athletes often schedule 2 rest days in their week because it maximizes performance and prevents burnout. The American College of Sports Medicine, for example, recommends at least 2 rest days between very intense workouts. The point is, rest is not a weakness, it's part of a smart strategy. Now, rest day doesn't mean you have to become a couch potato unless you really want to binge Netflix. No judgment. Active rest is great. Do some gentle yoga, take a leisurely walk, stretch out, or play a light sport for fun. This keeps your body moving without stressing it out. In fact, light activity on rest days can boost blood flow and help recovery. But absolutely avoid heavy lifting or intense workouts on those days off. Let your body fully recharge. And yes, that means no sneaking in a midnight push-up session just because you're bored. Talking to my younger self here. Sleep and nutrition are huge parts of effective rest. I used to neglect sleep in favor of early workouts, another mistake. During deep sleep, your body releases growth hormone and repairs muscles, so skimping on sleep undermines recovery. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep on most nights, especially when training hard. And feed yourself. Muscles need protein and nutrients to rebuild, so keep a balanced diet and stay hydrated on rest days too. Think of it as giving your body the building blocks it needs to come back stronger. One more thing, ditch the guilt on rest days. I know it's hard. I used to feel like a slacker if I wasn't pushing myself every day. But I had to learn that taking a day off is not laziness. It's what your body absolutely requires to get stronger. In fact, if you never take breaks, you're less likely to reach your goals. Fitness is a lifelong marathon, not a sprint, and rest days keep you in the race. So don't ever feel bad about kicking back. You've earned it, and it's helping you in the long run. To avoid the trap I fell into, it's crucial to structure your workout plan with rest in mind. Here are some quick tips that I and sports science recommend. Plan your rest days just like you plan your workouts. For example, you might train hard on Monday, Tuesday, rest Wednesday, train Thursday, Friday, rest Saturday, and maybe do a light activity Sunday. Find a schedule that gives you at least 2 full rest days each week, and listen to your body if you need a third. Consistency is important, but so is recovery. Rotate muscle groups if you do back-to-back training days. This is a classic bodybuilding approach, like leg day, then push upper body next day, etc. So each muscle group rests 48 plus hours before you hit it again. This way, even while you're exercising, yesterday's worked muscles are catching a break. But remember, your whole nervous system, joints, etc. still benefit from complete rest days. Watch for warning signs. If you notice persistent soreness, unusual fatigue, poor sleep, irritability, or dropping performance, those are your body's SOS signals that you need more rest. Don't ignore them like I did. It's far better to take a day or 2 off now than be forced to take weeks off later due to injury or burnout. Think long term. The goal is to be healthy and strong for years, not just shredded for summer. Build habits you can sustain. Rest days make your routine more sustainable by giving your body and mind time to recharge. This is how you avoid the dreaded burnout and keep fitness a positive part of your life, not a source of stress or injury. I chased strength and muscle hard, but ended up overtraining, which stalled my progress. Only when I learned to prioritize recovery did I start growing again. Now, the rest days are just as important as workouts because that's when the real gains happen. If you're grinding in the gym but not seeing results, here's your wake up or lie down call. Recovery isn't laziness. It's smart training backed by science. Train hard, yes, but recover harder. Your muscles will grow, your performance will improve, and you'll feel better overall. Don't make my mistake. Sometimes the best way to grow is to rest and come back stronger. Stay balanced and healthy. If you want to learn the differences between hypertrophy and strength training, make sure to watch the next video.